Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for being part of our program. Here we are together again on the radio. Appreciate your patronage here. Well, look at this. Jessica Simpson getting a divorce from Nick Lachey. And as you may have heard, before they got married, Nick Lachey wanted Jessica Simpson to sign a prenuptial agreement. And if you believe the tabloids, she refused. But it turned out that during their marriage, Jessica Simpson made a lot more money than Nick Lachey. Now, if they get divorced, Nick Lachey's got to get a big piece of the action he would not have gotten had Jess signed a prenup. Well, she sure taught him a lesson. So they will split what they have earned 50-50. And she earned a lot more than he did. On top of that, it is also possible, I don't know how likely it is also possible that Nick Lachey could ask for and receive up to 18 months of alimony. I mean, he has to get back on his feet again, you know? He needs money to get back on his feet. Would there be anything wrong with him getting alimony? I say no, if only to make a point. Make a point. In this case, the point is, men are always paying. Nick should take that money, and if nothing else, he should contribute it to a men's rights organization or something like that. An organization for men fighting against paying child support for kids that aren't theirs. DNA testing proves they're not the father. They got to pay anyway. I think Nick Lachey should take the money he can get. He should file for spousal support and take every penny he can get out of her. I mean, you don't have a problem with that, do you? Women do this all the time, even though they are frequently able-bodied. They frequently have jobs. They frequently have prior work histories. It's just a belief in this country that once a woman gets married, she no longer has any responsibility for herself. And that includes after she gets divorced. If Nick Lachey is in a position to get alimony from Jessica Simpson, why shouldn't he? You know, if more men were awarded alimony, it would be illegal. The reason alimony continues to exist as unfair and as unreasonable and as illogical as it is because generally the only people that get alimony are women. If men were getting alimony, you'd see it curtailed or eliminated quickly. It exists because women are the primary beneficiaries. Remember all the uproar years ago when Joan Collins got married to some young guy who divorced her and then wanted alimony? Oh, the outrage. How dare this able-bodied man ask for money from a woman? How dare he? But every day in this country, thousands of women who could just as easily get off their spreading asses and get a job, demand money and get it from ex-spouses. And nobody blinks. Nick Lachey could strike a blow for manhood here by taking as much alimony from Jessica Simpson as he can get. I'd like to see him do it. Give the money to charity if you have to, Nick. You don't want the money for yourself. But don't let her get away without paying. Be the man we all know you are. Take the money. You think I'm being unreasonable here?
Tom Leykis.
1-800-5800-TOM.
I think women understand how important fellatio is to most men. I don't think they get it.
The Tom Leykis Show.
show. 1-800-5800-TOM. This is Mac on the Tom Leykis show. Hello.
Hey, Tom, how's it going, buddy?
I'm okay, Mac.
Hey, listen, you know what? I agree with you 110%. If I was Nick Lachey, what I would do is I would probably ask for the 2 years worth of alimony instead of the next 16, 18 months, as you said. And what I would do with that 2 years, I would grab my boy band buddies and buy a huge tour bus and just travel from state to state banging bitches. I would call it the tour of banging bitches. And you know what? There would be nothing wrong with it because you know what Chris Rock said? And he said it best. Women have become accustomed to what they've grown into a marriage. But, you know, if we laughed and broke up, would she come over and every day? Probably not.
Yeah, well, you're probably right about that. That's the lifestyle to which I've become accustomed. Regular sex. You know, that whole idea that a woman should have a right to become accustomed to a particular lifestyle is ridiculous. Because I've become accustomed to getting laid every day. So if I'm going to be paying you because you become accustomed to a particular lifestyle, then you should give me what I'm accustomed to. You sitting on me and riding me like a pony. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Adrian on the Tom Leykis show. Hello.
Hey, good afternoon, Tom. How you doing?
Doing pretty good.
Hey, man, definitely. He needs to get whatever he can get out of her because, you know, we need to get these women back for getting us for years, for decades.
That's right. He needs to do it on behalf of all of mankind. Take the money, Nick.
Well, I mean, this is the thing, all right? I'm going through a divorce right now. I'm real young. I'm 25 years old. All right? I knew the girl I married for about 2 minutes. But anyways, that's off the subject, okay? We're going through a divorce right now, and she had a thought of trying to get me, okay? But I'm a little different from most of these guys out here. I punked her. I instilled fear in her heart. She's not getting me for nothing because we were only together for about a year and a half, and every single thing that she has was from me. And, you know, we grew up in the same neighborhood. I know everybody that she knows, and she tried to bring that up about how she was going to get something from me. And I punked her. I'm in the military. I'm a grunt in the military, so she knows I'm a little off. All right, so, you know, a little heads up to these guys out here, you know, you can always punk these women a little bit, too. I mean, not do anything illegal, you know, but still act like a man and, you know, step up to the plate a little bit.
Well, I think you're right about that. It's Jeff in Portland, Oregon, home of the other white meat on the Tom Leykis show. Hello.
Hey, Tom, I can't tell you what an incredible influence you've been on my life. I just wanted to let you know that. It's the first time I've ever gotten through, and I just wanted to say thank you for everything. You are an amazing man, and thank you for everything you've helped me with.
Thank you.
Anyway, this topic, actually, thanks to you, absolutely enrages me. I cannot stand the concept of alimony. I think it is complete BS. And if it begins applying to men, of course, like you said, I think everyone's going to have a problem with it because, well, you know, God, this whole system just pisses me off. Anyway, I just think that if I could be, I would be a men's rights activist or a supporter, but I don't know of any men's rights groups. And you'd mentioned earlier maybe the possibility of, well, joking around kind of about Nick giving that money to men's rights organizations or something like that.
There's a ton of them. If you Google the phrase men's rights, you will find plenty of organizations out there.
Yes.
If you add Portland into the mix, you'll find organizations right where you live.
Awesome. Okay, I've been always wondering about that because the more, I mean, I've been listening to you since, I don't know, out of college, maybe 10 years ago or so, and since then, I just have to thank you. I DTB'd a 5-year engagement because of you. I just the men's rights. She was, you know, because she wouldn't sign a prenup, and because you have saved my life. I just again wanted to thank you for that. But that's, I guess, the purpose of my call was to see what men's rights organizations there are, and actually, if you know, what could we possibly hope to accomplish with that?
Well, I mean, there need to be enough men out there fighting for this cause. And I'm not saying that men deserve superior rights. I'm simply saying that men should not be always the predators, always portrayed as the monsters, and always the ones who have to pay to get laid.
Yeah.
That's what vagina-mony is all about. The idea of paying a woman after you're done living with her is paying her for the past use of a vagina you no longer have access to.
It's ridiculous.
I mean, what else are you paying for?
It's like, yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous.
Imagine if you owned a car and you were making payments on it.
Uh-huh.
Then you traded it in for a newer model.
Yeah.
But you had to continue making payments on it even after you weren't driving it anymore?
Especially if that car had babies.
Right.
Christ.
I mean, you're already driving a new car with that new car smell. Why would you want to be paying for the old car?
Because you have to. It's the law.
Well, you don't have to with cars, but you do with women, and that's my point.
Oh, drives me crazy. Makes me angry. Well, Tom, just wanted to say thank you for everything.
Thank God they don't make you pay alimony by the pound in Portland.
That's good. Oh, man. I got to run, but thanks, Tom. You're awesome.
Jeff, thank you. Sarah on the Tom Leykis show. Hello.
Hello. Hi.
Hi.
You know, okay, if they call it vagina modi, what do you call it when you have to give it, when a woman's paying it to her husband?
Well, you know, as we say, Sarah, even a broken clock is right twice a day. Even man bites dog occasionally. Just doesn't happen very often.
Well, it's happening.
The reason there's no word for it is because it doesn't happen very often.
Is it like money or what?
I don't know what you call it because it happens so infrequently. I don't know what you call it.
All right. Well, this men's rights is a bunch of bull. I've been married for 11 years, and my husband was disabled. So now we're separated, and I'm paying him $2,200 a month because I'm paying his mortgage, and I'm living in a crappy little apartment, one-bedroom apartment.
Now you know what it's like to be a man.
Well, screw that.
Now you know what it's like to be a man.
Yeah, whatever. You know, but
not whatever. Now you know what it's like to be a man.
He can get his ass up and get a job.
Well,
I mean,
you sound like a man. Now you sound like you should join a men's rights group. You sound like a man.
Good. There should be women's. I'm sick of all these men's rights things with divorce and stuff.
The fact is, all the men's rights things, women have all the rights in divorce.
No, they don't.
You are the rare exception, dear.
Yeah.
How many other women do you know paying alimony?
None.
That's my point. That's my point.
So
that's my point.
Out there, don't marry a disabled man because if you get a divorce, you're going to be paying alimony. You know.
Well, and men, don't marry a disabled woman. Don't marry a woman who plans to quit and raise kids. Don't marry a woman who doesn't make as much money as you do. Don't marry a woman at all.
You know. Okay, I just wanted to tell my.
Unless you're disabled and you can get her to marry you without a prenup, huh?
Why are you so defensive?
I'm not defensive.
Yeah,
this is something
you're raising your voice.
There's nothing defensive about this, dear. This is something we yell about on this show all the time.
Well, I want men out there to know that there's women that get screwed just like...
There are very few of you, and you admitted it yourself. You're the only one you know.
Well, you know...
There are not a lot of you.
It's really messed up.
Well, dear.
Because I make $30 an hour.
You know what's messed up? It happens to men 99.9% of the time. And women like you 0.1% of the time. That's what's screwed up.
So are there any organizations that help women with divorce?
Dear, again, let me repeat. Women hold most of the cards in divorce in this country. You're the exception to the rule.
That fools me.
You don't need an organization. Women are already getting all the benefits.
Listen, I had to put up with, like, years of verbal abuse, and then when I finally left him, I'm the one that's paying him.
You did not have to put up with years of verbal abuse. You chose to put up with it.
Yes,
you chose.
I chose it for a while, and then
you did not have to do it. You chose it.
Right, but then I finally left him. I got the strength to leave him, and now here I am paying, you know, for him.
How much strength do you need? If you're being abused, why would you hang around for that?
Well, you know, the fact is that I put up with it for a while, and then I didn't.
Right,
so
but you didn't have to. You volunteered for that kid.
Bash me for that. Okay?
You volunteered for that kid.
You know what? I hate your program. I get so
sure you do.
When I listen to your program, it's like such.
No, it's really not, dear. In fact, the fact is this show is #1 in men in most of the places where it's on. Where you live, we just came on the air. We'll be #1 in men within 6 months. And she hung up already. Because once again, screaming and yelling, full of emotion, no logic, no knowledge of or understanding of statistics, nothing. Alan on the Tom Leykis show. Hello.
Hey, how you doing, Tom?
Okay, Alan.
That was pretty funny. I got a kick out of that.
I know.
Anyway, you know what I say? I say he should take it for all it's worth. Juice it. Take all that money and chalk one on the board for the men. Touche. Flip the script. You know what I mean?
I agree.
I agree, 100%.
Even if he doesn't want to keep the money, give it to charity. Give it to somebody else.
Yeah, give it to, but still.
Don't let her keep that money. Take it.
You know that? I was in the military for 12 years, and I got married to a Russian international. And when I got back here, as soon as she got to the States, she split. But you know what? I was lucky. Because I kept all my family assets. I kept my retirement and all that stuff. I got a medical retirement because I got disabled in Iraq. But I kept all that stuff.
Right.
And I thank God I had the judge I did when I had him because, I kept all that stuff. She could have took a lot from me. But I'm with you, Tom. I say take it.
And there's nothing in it for a man to get married, is there, Alan?
No. I'm a new listener. I just moved to California out here, and if I'd have heard your show a long time ago, there would be a lot of points that I would have changed. Because I follow you 100% on the pump 'em and dump 'em. I'm a firm believer of that.
Hit 'em and quit 'em. Pump 'em and dump 'em.
There you go.
Crank 'em and yank 'em.
Yep. All right, Tom. I just wanted to throw that in there. Just, I hope he's listening too. Take it. Spend it, do what you want with it, give it to somebody else or whatever, charity or something, but don't let her keep it.
No doubt about it. Blake on the Tom Leykis show. Hello.
How you doing, brother?
Doing okay.
I'm in the same situation right now as Jessica and Nick. I pull down 90 to 100 a year. My wife pulls down 175 to 2 a year.
Uh-huh.
I'm thinking about getting divorced and all that stuff because all that little stuff is slacked off and, all the conditions have been popping up and all that. I want to take her for everything she's got.
Even if you don't need the money, do it on behalf of the other guys out there.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Because they would do it to me. And the bad thing about it is, just a couple of days ago, she doesn't know anything about me wanting to get a divorce or anything like that. She comes up with 3 or 4 papers. She owns property. She wants me to sign these papers stating that she is the sole person of these papers, and I have nothing to do with them.
Wow.
She's trying to snip me.
Yep. Do you have a good attorney?
I got a couple of good ones.
Good for you. Good for you, Blake. I'm proud. It's Ashley on the Tom Leykis show. Hello.
Hi, Tom.
Hi.
So I'm calling because listening to the last lady that was on talking about how she's having to pay her disabled husband, and you're saying she's starting to sound like the men, but I don't think that Nick should take his money and give it to men's activist groups. I think what they need to do is change the law because maybe there's not a word for it, like you call the vagina money the other way, but it does go the other way sometimes.
Rarely.
Rarely.
That's why there's no word for it. It's so rare.
Exactly, but it's not. They need to change the law to make it so that we're not having to pay.
I agree, but in the meantime, Nick Lachey should take what's coming to it.
Well, I guess I agree with you on that.
He should, as long as it's coming to him, he should get it.
I guess so.
And why not? Lisa on the Tom Leykis show. Hello.
Hey, good evening. I'd like to say I'm a 44-year-old woman. I was married many years ago, 2 grown kids, one in the Air Force, one in college. 12-year relationship, getting ready to get married, signing a prenup. Because it's his money, he busted his ass, and the only reason we're getting married because we're getting ready to cruise, across the world, around the world, and it gives us our legal rights to each other. God forbid something happens. There's no other reason to get married. And hell yeah, I'm signing on that dotted line. That's his money. He earned it.
Good for you.
I cannot believe that these women are ranting and raving about what they have to do and not do. Get off your fat ass and go do something. I'm 5'8" and I'm 120 pounds. And I know what I look like. And I'm tired of this crap. I'm tired of women whining. They're making us look bad. They make us look bad. I'm sorry. Every woman must hate me right now. I don't really care. I think men have the right to have their own money. It's just not fair anymore.
I agree with you. Lily on the Tom Leykis show. Hello.
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 I have never heard the show before, but I heard it, and I have an opinion, so figured I'd talk. About this, I have a question. Are you arguing against, just real quick, are you arguing against alimony for women who have children as well?
Put it this way. Women who have children get child support. And they should get child support. So child support is not alimony. It's a different thing.
I didn't know that. Okay, well, never mind.
These are 2 separate issues.
And the other thing I was going to say is I personally think that getting married, unless you're going to have children, is the dumbest idea on it. Because it is just, I mean, why do it? Why tie yourself down for the rest of your life to someone you don't know you're going to stay with? I don't plan to get married unless I find a man who's going to father my kids. But if he's not, I'm not tying myself down, and why should any man or woman do the same?
Yeah, well, again, if there's any benefit to anybody to getting married, children, I think, deserve to have a stable environment.
I agree.
But there's nothing in it for a man to get married at all. There's
nothing in it for a woman either. I mean,
there is, because if you marry somebody and it doesn't work out and you get divorced, you get cash. You get prizes.
You're right. That's wrong. I believe if we want to become equalists, if females want to come up in the world, we have to bring ourselves to the same level as men. And if you get married and something goes wrong, if you're in a great relationship and he wants to help you out, that's great. But if you're not, you got to go out and support yourself again. You're a person just like he is.
No doubt about it. Seth on the Tom Leykis show. Hello.
Hello, how you doing, Tom?
I'm okay.
Good, good. Hey, I had a comment for the female caller that was saying, female, support groups and all that sort of stuff. There is a female support group, and it's called the U.S. court system. Yep. And I'm so sick of all these women whining about, women should get this, women should get that. There's no point. There is no point. Women are fully capable of making their own money. I mean, how many CEOs and CFOs are women now? Tons. They're all over the place. It's absolutely ridiculous. It really is.
No doubt about it.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-866. Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM.
Have you fathered children for people? No one has ever asked me for this. Probably because they don't want to have some big-mouth, bratty kid.
The Tom Leykis Show.
From Los Angeles, it's the Tom Leykis Show. And yes, Nick Lachey, divorcing Jessica Simpson. He asked her to sign a prenup. She said, no, I'm not going to do that. Now, it turns out she made more money than he did during the marriage, and they're going to split it 50-50. And Nick can ask for spousal support for up to 18 months. Go, go, go. Take it, take it, take it. 1-800-5800-TOM. Sarah, you're on the Tom Leykis Show.
Hey, Tom, listen, I just want to make a couple of points about this alimony thing. You're making it sound like every man that gets divorced, the woman just gets money. But do you pay for maid service?
What do you mean, do I pay for maid service?
Well, you're talking about...
Let me give you an example. Let me give you an example.
Okay.
When you're cleaning my house and making my dinner, who do you think is paying the majority of the rent, the mortgage, the electricity, the gas, the water, the cable, the groceries, your clothes, your accessories, your car payments? Who do you think is paying the majority of that? That is what is paying for you to be the maid.
Okay.
I love the way women like you take all that stuff for granted like you're not getting anything. You're getting all that stuff free that you would have had to pay for if you lived alone.
I'm not saying that they're getting it for free. What I'm saying is...
you are my maid, and you are being compensated. You are being compensated while you are with me. When you are gone and I'm not getting maid service anymore, you don't deserve to get any money.
Okay, well, all those years that they've stayed home and taken care of the children or taken care of you and done that maid service and cooked and cleaned and everything else, that's time that they...
You got compensated while you were there.
No, because they
yes.
They can't go back in time and walk into a job and make the same amount of money that you can. And women are underpaid anyway.
Oh, please. No, women are not underpaid compared to men. That has been disproven in a book by Dr. Warren Farrell called Why Men Earn More. And you ought to read it. Okay. Of course, being a 22-year-old female, you'll never crack open a serious book. But if you would crack open the book, you would see all the statistics that will show that women are not paid less than men when they have the same experience, same education, and do the same job, the same number of hours per week for the same number of years.
Okay, so the lawsuit right now with Walmart with 1.5 million women being paid less, promoted less than men is just completely...
Again, women also show up to work less, call in sick more, go home early to take care of the kids or pick them up at school when they're sick or whatever.
When a man takes off work and puts the family first, maybe those things will change.
Generally, they don't.
If a woman...
Generally, they don't.
Even if
Generally, they don't.
Even if we make both...
Nobody forces you to get married and accept a man's sperm to get knocked up. If you think it's unfair, Dad, go have artificial insemination and pay for it yourself.
That's not the point. The point is... that
Yes, it is the point.
No, the point is, if you're staying home, even if you both... You're making it sound like every woman gets alimony.
I didn't say every woman gets alimony. Every woman doesn't get alimony, but lots of them do.
The only ones that do are the ones who are making less than the men, even though they're working the same amount of time.
Working the same amount of time is not the only factor. If one person works all the time as a librarian, and another person works the same number of hours as a construction worker walking the girders of a 50-story building, one person's working a much more dangerous job that deserves to be paid more than the job where you walk into a library and talk to first graders all day long.
Okay, if you're using that example, what about that man that's working construction or that woman who's working in the grocery store lifting things, moving things constantly around? They're working just as hard as
you show me. I challenge you to show me any two people doing the exact same job for the exact number of hours per week, for the exact same number of years, with the exact same education. You show that to me. You show it to me. You show that to me, and I'll write you a check today.
The woman who has stayed home and taken care of the house and the kids...
Yeah, no, don't start changing the subject. You just claim that women are going to work and doing the exact same job. Stop it. You just claim that there are women who go to work and do the same job as men and get paid less. And I challenge you to show me a woman who's done the same work and gotten paid less. It's against the law. I'm challenging you to show me, and when you couldn't, you started zigzagging all over the place. I'm not letting you do. Now, Jordan, I had to let Sarah go, but what did you want to say here?
Tom, dude, first time, long time. That what a complete dumb whore, man. What does she think? Like, she does nothing. She probably sits on her ass and has her husband pay everything, and she comes here and acts like she knows what she's doing, dude.
Yeah, I love these women who say, well, after I've been your maid all these years, like, who paid your rent all that time? Who paid your phone bill? Who paid for your cell phone? Who paid for your car? Who put gas in your car?
They just don't even think about that. They think it just comes from nowhere.
When you had a baby, who paid for your prenatal care? Who paid for the hospitalization? Who paid for the birth of the baby? Who put clothes on the baby? Who put formula in the baby's mouth? Who paid to have the nursery redone and paid for the crib and paid for all the cute pink and blue things in the room? Who paid for that?
Seriously, Tom, they just don't get it. They don't.
Right.
They only think about what they can get out of you. That's all.
That's right. And that's why I tell men that you have nothing to gain by getting married. Nothing. I might add, by the way, that if you don't marry a woman and don't live with her, if all you do is knock her up, all you have to pay her is child support. You don't have to pay her vagina money. Yeah. So that's why I tell guys, if you're stupid enough to accidentally knock a woman up and she has the baby, do not do what you think is the right thing, quote unquote, and marry her. Don't do it, because then you'll have to pay her alimony too.
Yeah. Tom, you're completely right. You're always right, man. I've been listening to you for a while. You're always right.
Thank you, Jordan.
No problem.
Appreciate the call. It's Michelle on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom. How are you?
I'm okay, Michelle.
First time, long time.
Thank you.
Question for you.
You planning on asking it? I guess not. Question for you, and then she hung up. 1-800-5800-TOM. It's Brad on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello, Tom.
Hello, Brad.
Okay. You know, I've been listening to you, and you are right 99.9% of the time, and I'm so glad I got in one because I finally got you.
Yeah.
I finally got you, and you are wrong, finally.
Do tell. I'm listening.
Do tell. I will tell. There's a girl that called in that's paying for the disabled guy.
Right.
Paying the support disabled guy.
Right.
Good point. You said, yeah, that's very rare. Then there was an Ashley that called in, and she made a point that you completely brushed over, pal.
Which is what?
And she said, well, it's...
By the way, you know, you didn't have to lie to Dean to get on the air. You would have gotten on anyway. And I just want to point out to the listeners that you lied to get on the air, thinking wrongly that we wouldn't have put you on the air, correct?
Can you stay on the point?
No. Now, this is the point. You lied to get on the air, didn't you?
How?
You said that you told Dean you were going to get on the air and say that that Nick Lachey should go for it.
Yeah, I agree.
But you haven't said that.
Well, I'm making a point.
Now, I'm making a point. When you call in, tell Dean what your primary topic of conversation is, or don't expect to get on the air and stay on the air. We put people on the air who disagree with me all the time. You're going to lie to get on the air. You're not going to stay on the air. And that goes for the 68-year-old former comedians who try to sucker punch me and then sue me, and it goes for you. Anybody who calls in and lies is going to be hung up on. Everybody. Oh, is he 69 now, Dean? I didn't know. 1-800-5800-TOM. It's Mike on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello, Tom.
Hello, Mike.
Good to talk to you again.
I know.
Here's the deal. Nick Lachey is going to pussify on this one. He's going to give up the money, I guarantee it. Just look at him. He's just the kind of guy that will say, oh, no, I'll give Jessica all she wants. And he's just going to make a bad name for guys. You watch.
You think so?
I think so.
I think he should take every penny he can get.
Meow. I think he should, but I don't think he will. I think he's going to be a good guy and be a real nice fella. He's been that way the whole time. He's been a big wuss. So there's no way. It ain't going to happen. I know you say you want him to do it, but I don't think he's going to do it.
I don't think most men do it. And that's the reason why I think it's mostly women who get alimony, because men don't claim what's coming to them.
Nope. And he's going to go, oh, well, she was my wife. I loved her when the time. And he's just going to move on and be a big puss.
You might be right about that. I never said whether I thought he would do it. All I said is that I think he should do it.
Well, Tom, in honor of that, I think you should take me out Kobe style.
Here you go.
This is about us. She's so special to me. Yeah, it beats in my heart. Yeah, the air I breathe. She's so special to me.
Tom Leykis Show. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. It's Kendra on the Tom Leykis Show.
Tom.
Yes.
What's going on, man?
It's doing a radio show here, Kendra.
All right. I just really like to just make a point.
About what?
Okay, you dog women out all the time, bro. You are always talking about how, they're lazy, they don't do anything, they expect a man to do this, that, and the other. But what I don't understand is all these idiot men, you're paying for a woman to sit at home all day. How bright are you? Why aren't you making her get up and go to work every day?
Well, first of all,
work every day and then just sit at home while this broad is at home all day. I mean, why didn't you ask her before you married her?
We do not have a problem. We do not have a problem helping her pay the rent and things like that. If she's folding our socks, making our meals, raising our children, we don't have a problem with that.
Okay.
What we have a problem with is when she leaves, she expects to continue being supported. And you have, in my view, you have no right to expect to continue to be supported any more than I have a right to expect a woman to come over and hump me every day because I'm used to it.
Okay, but to expect someone to not pull their weight and then to compare, see, what you're doing is saying, okay, it's okay for you to sit at home all day just as long as you're feeding me and I go to work every day. But then when she leaves...
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it's okay to do all that work. It's work. And that's okay to do that work, and then we pay the bills. The problem is, like that one caller who called earlier, and this is the one where I got into it. She's like, after I've been your maid all these years, what do I get? Well, what have you gotten? The rent paid, the groceries bought, the electric bill paid, the cable TV bill paid, gas in your car, the car itself, the cost of your children.
If you wanted to be a parent, have a kid. You sound like a damn parent to me. Why are you going to take care of a wife like a child?
What?
I'm not expecting her to pull her weight in any way, shape,
That's not my point. I'm talking...
You just explain. You do for a child.
I am... Dear, again, you're only half listening. You're not listening to what I'm saying. If I pay all your bills while you're with me, because I'm satisfied having my socks folded and having you make dinner and having you keep the house clean, if I'm satisfied with that you got compensated during all the years you did it. And then if I decide that you're not pulling your weight anymore or it's not a good arrangement anymore, you should not have the right to expect to continue getting paid years later. When I stop doing this show one day at the end of a contract, the company is not going to continue paying me after I'm done working. They pay me to work today. And when I'm done with this contract, if they don't choose to renew it, I'll never get paid again. That's what I'm talking about.
The Tom Leykis Show.